solving multi-step inequalities. In this lesson, we're really not looking at anything new. We're just piecing together what you know about multi-step equations and what you know about solving inequalities. In review, inequalities are solved the same way as equations. Your ultimate goal is still to isolate the variable. How are you going to do that? You're still doing that with inverse operations. The one thing to remember, though, is if you undo multiplying or dividing by a negative in an inequality, you have to reverse the inequality symbol. So let's practice this. Let's do an example of this. The problem is -5 times the quantity x plus 2 minus 7 is less than or equal to 38. Going back to equations, before you can start undoing, we need to use the distributive property to get rid of these parentheses. I'm going to distribute that -5 to each term inside the parentheses. So that becomes -5x plus -5 times 2, which is -10. Copy down the rest of the inequality, minus 7 less than or equal to 38. Next, I'm going to combine like terms. -5x is the only term with a variable, so it can go ahead and come down. -5x. But I have a -10 and a -7 that need to be combined, and that becomes -17. Copy down the rest of the inequality. It's simplified, and now I'm ready to undo. I'm going to undo the subtraction first. I do that by adding. I'm going to add 17 to both sides. That will cancel. -5x is less than or equal to, that becomes 55. And then the last step. X is being multiplied by -5. I'm going to undo that by dividing both sides by -5. Those will cancel. And since I am undoing multiplying by -5, I'm undoing that with dividing. The symbol is reversed. 55 divided by -5 is -11. So we can check that. I'm going to check that with, I'm just going to put 0 in there. That sounds like something that would be easy to work with. So I'm going to check that by putting 0 in for x, because 0 is greater than -11. Come over here to do that. -5 times 0 plus 2 minus 7 less than or equal to 38. 0 plus 2 is 2. -5 times 2 is -10. -10 minus 7 is -17. And -17 is less than or equal to 38, so that is a valid solution. Here are a few to practice with. Pause the video, try those, and then compare with what I had. About fell down. Okay, for practice A, we started by subtracting 8 on both sides because we're going to undo the adding 8. So over here, 32 minus 8 is 24, greater than or equal to negative 4x came down because 8 minus 8 cancels. Next, we're going to divide by negative 4 on both sides. 24 divided by negative 4 is negative 6. The symbol reverses because I am undoing multiplying by a negative. Cancels over here, and x comes down. So my solution set is x is greater than or equal to negative 6. B, x over 9 minus 5 is less than or equal to negative 8. We're going to undo subtracting 5 by adding 5 to both sides. So what comes down is what's in blue here. X over 9 is less than or equal to negative 3 because negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. I undo dividing by 9 by multiplying by 9 on both sides. The symbol does not reverse because what's being undone is dividing by a positive. So the symbol stays the same. X is less than or equal to negative 27. And practice C. You have to distribute that 2 to each term inside the parentheses. So 2 times 4t is 8t. Minus 2 times 4 is 12. Bring down minus 10t is less than negative 6. I've boxed my like terms. I can combine those. 8t and negative 10t become negative 2t. Negative 12 comes down, less than negative 6. I'm going to undo subtracting 12 by adding 12 to both sides. That will cancel. Negative 2t comes down is less than, oh, looky there. I didn't bring it down right. Okay, that should be a negative there. Less than negative 6, and then you're going to undo multiplying negative 2 by dividing by negative 2 on both sides. Since I'm undoing multiplying by a negative, the sign has been reversed, and t is greater than positive 3 because negative divided by a negative is a positive.